Good evening everyone, welcome back to Tom Plays Factorio for absolute beginners. We had just started, well we just set up to start making modules and electric furnaces. And I had a couple of spare radar that I was going to place down. So let's just do that to start with. So I guess these two corners would be the obvious places to put them. Let's see what they can discover for us. So I did do a little bit of extra looking into modules, just given that we're making them. And it's definitely worth considering the trade-offs when making them. Because I think certainly the ones that I tend to favour, the production modules, can increase pollution and such like, and can start to escalate the enemy attacks. It's not something I'm particularly worried about myself. I still like to have them everywhere, but not everyone likes them, so it's definitely worth checking the trade-offs and looking it up yourself and thinking about which ones you actually prefer. I can move that down more. I still tend to do productivity everywhere I can and efficiency everywhere else, but I think in a sense I'm just naturally using resources sparingly, which of course there's no real need for. Because it's not like we're actually going to run out of anything, in theory. I just feel better doing it that way, and I'm not usually in a hurry. So yeah, with that in mind, in fact, while I think about it, we could actually just have a quick look at them, because they should tell us what effects they will have. So there we go, so we consume a lot more energy, so that of course means we're going to have to produce more energy to do them. Things are going to be a bit slower, and we're going to make more pollution. So yeah, the energy consumption is enormous. Efficiency will reduce energy consumption and doesn't actually have any negatives. So I guess that's worth doing. I suppose the only negative it does have is the cost of making it, which of course is at least moderately high. Right, let's see what we can do about getting our copper processing off-site. So at the moment we have got 5 of these, and they're more or less processing copper continually. Okay, let us summon the train. Now in theory we could do something with the filters, but I'd kind of rather just cut the train off at the other end and let it fully empty itself. We'll just fix everything from there, is what I am thinking. Right, well to start with, it's not going to be a huge amount to fix. So, in theory, we do have a lot of space over here where we could do our smelting. So let me just stop you there. This should all actually be pretty straightforward. Okay, there we go. So we now have a whole bunch of these doing copper plates. Right, this is going to fill up pretty rapidly, so we now have all of the unprocessed copper ore on this train. It's actually like to cause a little bit of a problem, because that means this train, once it's empty, is never going to move. It'll go back to the mine and then sit there forever, I guess. Still, not too bad. Right, so while that is emptying itself, let's finish the protection of that other base. We're not building another quarry right now. I don't think we're that struggling for stone. So I think it's just walls it needed. So if I can just head up here. Summon this train as well. There we are. Oh right, it's not just walls. Right, fair enough. We need to do all the turrets and things as well. And I suppose we should make sure we do them. Just to be certain the protection's complete, you know. Even though we're unlikely to be attacked down here. I want to have peace of mind before we go on to the next thing. go down here now, actually. There. That's almost certainly completely excessive. But I feel happier knowing it's done. And I haven't seen any ammunition floating around as of yet, so perhaps we better dump a little bit more in the system up here. And also go and get some more power things. I wasn't expecting to need them. So yeah, I'm just assuming that no one is ever going to make it to this little corner. They'll still be in range, even if they did. But yeah, probably really pushing the bounds of probability to expect any issues there. Okay, so I just need power poles. Which is fine. I should check the rest of our equipment while I'm at it. No, good grief. Right, fine. It's determined to have me build quarries. I think I'm more thinking that we need to get moving on the off-site quarry, really. Guess I'll put those in there. Okay, what was I thinking? Let's just check iron. Right, we're down to 50 iron. Slightly down on copper as well. Oddly, I didn't think we used that very often. But the big thing was power poles. However, might want some inserters as well. So this is still going. This is the thing, we need to get all the copper ore out of the system, really. Or at least most of it. How are we doing in terms of... Actually, that's the point, I could drop off the excess 50 iron. In terms of ammunition. Right, let's grab the spare ammo. As well, let me drop off some stone. We will head back up and get this finished and signed off. I'm assuming this coal mine's okay. It's one problem with only having one mine. If it runs out, I won't necessarily know. I guess I'll just notice that we run out of coal. Which doesn't seem to have happened as yet. But we'll have to keep an eye on the coal levels here. I don't want to overdo it either though, because we could end up with a coal train just permanently sat there blocking off the oil. Oops. I actually want to come down here, don't I? Although it would seem that I'm going to need to drop off some more ammunition for all of these. On the plus side, if they don't get used, they will never fire, so they will never actually need any more ammunition. So, once they're filled, that should be job done. But yeah, ideally we want to be seeing ammunition floating around on these, so that we know they will get replenished as needed. So let's just fill this up with all the spare stuff. And then hopefully that will be enough to fill all of the turrets. But we will come back later and check once we've had time to fill up. But at least in theory, that base is fully defended now. It's just a question of keeping the ammunition topped up. Okay, back to the copper. Just drop off some more stone, so I'm not constantly carrying stone around. Right, how we're looking. Okay. Well, it's still backed up a fair bit, to be honest. Let's see if I can unload this manually now. Still gonna have a fair bit to go. Not a problem. I can just do an iron chest here. Get it to unload. And then dump all the copper ore. Right, excellent. So up until this point then, we're now clear. In fact, if I take this ore here, and then dump that in the box, then in theory it's now all clear up to there. So anything coming from the trains we can now reroute so it goes directly to this point beyond the furnaces. Excellent. So they can carry on working on the excess copper ore, but we will also get the furnaces at the mine working on the actual copper. So from now on we no longer want these to pick up copper ore, we want them to pick up copper plates. Okay. I'm going to summon the train, which is going to stop for like a second before it runs off. So I'm going to have to get on board the second it arrives. Without actually getting run over. There we go. I think we set this to just be full cargo. So I don't think we have to actually change anything. But I will check that. Empty cargo, full cargo. Yeah, so it doesn't actually care what it's picking up. And I don't think we set these with any filters. So in theory, if I now unleash that, it should be good to go. So let's leave that going while I try to sort these broken mines out. So we should also probably scale these up and put some more furnaces down. But for now, I just want to check that this is working. And hopefully providing us with an absolute abundance of copper. Or at least enough copper. This probably isn't necessary anymore. But hey, they're in there, so I'll leave them in. Gives us a bit of a buffer at least. Yep, this looks good. So for a while at least we should have far more copper than we actually need. Okay, that's good. Right, so where does that leave us? Well, that probably leaves us with wanting to develop the south. Because the north seems to be sufficiently well defended now. So I think probably our next thing would be trying to build some kind of mega base here. I keep ending up with these sub-bases instead of just mines. But they keep putting resources next to each other. So I kind of feel like I could take the railway through. How's this going to work? I could take one rail through, and then another rail could come round the top, maybe, to start with. If we have the going to rail just going straight through there. So obviously our first concern is going to be this base. So the question is, am I able to take on an enemy base without being killed? I'm beginning to think maybe I should have done some work on modular armour. Well, never mind. I guess we will have to make do with the heavy armour. At least for now. So I suppose also we want to start protecting this base down here, don't we? Come to think of it. Yeah, so possibly I should be building here first and then taking them on. Hadn't actually thought about that. Okay, so if I was going to build, say, a wall here, do I have any gates? I have now. Okay, so that worked. So maybe if I start off doing some basic defences at this point, where we're not in a lot of danger. Ah yes, usual problem. Completely forgot that we need power. And it looks like we have some very close. Which is a pleasant surprise. Oh, it must have been in order to power the base down there. Okay, so if I move you up just a little. And then we'll put a steel box down here. Need to get some more ammunition. Possibly my little buggy. But yeah, the idea is sound. So right, brilliant. Let's do that then. Let's protect this base before going on to attack the others. I suppose outpost rather than base. So it's just going to be a little rail loop. But I'm going to want traffic lights there and stuff, and I'll probably end up stuffing it with solar panels and such like. How are we doing here? Well, we're not exactly teeming with copper, so it might be a good idea to get some more electric furnaces just to make sure. Need to work out how we're going to do the modules as well. So if nothing else, I can put some modules into these. These won't take productivity, so efficiency is the only option. Probably not the most efficient place to put those, but least I'll be able to remember where they are. I might use the productivity ones in one of the quarries, simply because we've got a diminishing amount of stone here, and we've still got a little bit of time before I'll be able to get the new quarry up and running. Right, let's at least get to the point where we can make a couple of gates. And we're out of electronic circuits. So I'll just grab a few. Unfortunately, not drowning in ammunition here. Let's give you some steel, because that seems to be the root of your problem right now. Okay, anything else we're drastically low on? We could make some more fast inserters. And maybe grab some more turrets. And the odd transport belt. Okay, I think we're kind of set. Oh, let's grab some more electric furnaces as well. Put them in the copper mine. So I'm a little worried that we don't have the same output that we did have. Okay. Seriously? Alright, I see, this has been stealing all the iron for a while. But this is now full. So this is what I said would basically happen if it was stealing the iron. Is it's now full up, so it should not be accepting any more iron now. Okay, it might still be accepting a bit. No, it doesn't look like it. No, so all the iron will now go into making advanced circuits. So it's not quite as bad as it looks. Okay, I won't worry then. We'll come back later for the electric furnaces. It's not like we've actually run out just yet, and it looks like I severed this while we were getting the electric furnaces set up and then never set it off again, which is a little silly. So hey, glad I happened to walk past there. So things aren't so bad now, but I'm operating under the assumption that at some point the enemy's really going to kick off, so we're going to need these outposts because we basically won't be safe outside them. So that's the assumption I tend to run under anyway. So then of course it doesn't matter how many production modules I use, because they won't be able to get us in any case. Right, definitely need at least one more. I'm going to watch this because we're getting quite close to what looks like a small enemy base, but you never know how old the radar is. So it would be better to have all of these filled up, given the option. Of course, we may not actually have the option, having not managed to build all that much ammunition. Might even just go down and take that one out. Okay, so if we do one more and we make that the corner. Ultimately, once the mines are in place, we're more likely to be attacked from the south. So I'll place our... Okay. Still going to have a bit of a way to go, I think. Yeah, I think we've just about filled up the ones that we've put down. And this one may not be quite full. But at least they're all protected, so that's something. Okay, well that's not so bad. It's an improvement and it's a start. Let's just see how our copper's looking, and hopefully there's an electric furnace we can grab just to improve the copper layout. And then I might call it a day for this one. Doesn't feel like we've done a huge amount. Yeah, see, it is starting to run low on some of these. So yeah, I don't think we've got enough coming in. Only got the one, mind you. How many do you actually need? We need like 2. Seems ridiculous. But I suppose because they're having to send advanced circuits to a number of places, it is likely to take a while to catch up. Still, I could always do that. I shouldn't do that really, should fix the factory overall. I'm just worried that one electric furnace isn't going to be enough. Now let me fill up again. You see, you're now low on copper. So we definitely need to sort this. Still, I'm quite pleased because we've changed that mine over to doing all of its copper smelting in situ. This should give us another one at least. we should be able to do that for all the new mines from now on. I was kind of expecting a blip in the copper production rather worse than this, so this actually isn't that bad. And it's likely that the issue will only persist until the actual train arrives. So if we summon the train, I mean, I'll probably use it to ride down, but I might send it straight back. And then we should find that, obviously this copper doesn't need to be smelted now. So we'll hopefully find that we have a glut of copper. After I send this back. Okay, you head back and get everyone filled up with copper. And we will... Oh right, we've got 4. Okay, I had no idea we had that many. Okay, so this is actually probably too many. Unless we seriously increase the amount of mining we're doing. These should probably be fast as well. Actually, should they? How fast? How many of these do we actually need? What should we do particularly? Could make all of them fast. In a lot of ways, I'm not actually that worried. We low on power. We are. It probably still counts as nighttime though, to be fair. So yeah, probably not too much of a worry right now. And in any case, it's something we can solve. So yeah, so what did we do? Finished off the protection for this, although it could probably do with some more ammunition. Oh, looks like the coal mine is working, which is good. And also getting in the way, so I'll just send that back manually. But yeah, it hasn't run out at least. So I'll get the oil going again. I'm guessing the coal had just filled up, which was something I was worried about. Might want to put some steel boxes down, but it's the reason I've only left 1 mine operational there, even though that leads to the danger that it might run out and I won't immediately notice. But I just don't want it sat there clogging up that base. Okay, so what else? We tried applying a couple of modules, but it's going to take a while for those to be made. So the main thing was getting electric furnaces down in Copper Mine South and reconfiguring the base to accept smelted copper instead of copper ore. Yeah, so this is fine. I don't need faster inserters. Looks like 6 is as many furnaces as I actually needed, so 8 is plenty. It's like overkill. And we have made a start on protecting this, turning it into a proper outpost, which should allow us to get all the traffic lights in place. Can use it for solar power, and then we can start attacking these bases using this as our little protection point. and move towards getting these mines up and running before we run out of stone. So yeah, that's pretty good. It seemed quite bitty, but made some fairly solid progress there. So yeah, I guess next time, be more of the same. We'll probably want to carry on moving on this base, so hopefully ramp up the ammunition production for that. Oh yeah, I'll leave it there for now. And oh yeah, also did the radar, didn't we? So in theory we've got stuff being discovered over to the east. Got more coal that we'll probably never need, because that is plenty. More copper. Nothing else especially exciting as yet. Oh, more fuel. I've never... well, crude oil. I don't think I've ever had this much crude oil visible at the start of the game. It's not something you tend to run out of that easily. Although I do wonder if we could do with another crude oil thing. Oh, there's another one. More copper, more iron. Okay. Things we could go for. The radar is uncovering the mysteries of the planet. Okay, but we're definitely looking at these two first. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.